Welcome to TABTA number 99. It's wild to think that we've been keeping in touch like this for 99 weeks. And next week for TABTA 100, I'm going to try to put together something a little bit special. But this week is no slouch. We've started to enjoy Season 0 as it starts to come to life the way it was originally dreamed, with an infusion of magic that has to be heard to be really appreciated. For me, it's a major moment for the series to get these earlier versions of the show and bring them to their full glory. And it's all a part of our road to Season 3. So let's dive in, but first, a message to our heroes of Edera. Hey there, this is Colin, creator of the 7th Valkyrie. If you're hearing this, it means you're listening to the public version of TABTA. And I really appreciate that. It keeps the algorithm happy, it keeps us growing. But if you want to get a little fun personal message every week with behind-the-scenes stories, funny little bits, other insight into the creative process, you can hop over to our Patreon and become a hero of Edera. You'll support the series, you can shape the future of the 7th Valkyrie, and find a whole lot of fun bonus content along the way. You can get started completely for free, and then if you decide you want to chip in and get bonus content, early access, and a whole lot more and help us along the path of heroes towards a whole lot of cool checkpoints, then you can do that. It's patreon.com/7th Valkyrie, that's 7THVALKYRIE, and give it a look. With that, on into the show. Hey, everybody, and welcome to TABTA, the adventure behind the adventure for the 7th Valkyrie, where we watch one series go from total obscurity to maybe 7 seasons in a movie, or maybe we just find the power of friendship along the way. I'm your host, Colin Sharp, creator and current voice of the 7th Valkyrie, and it's great to have you listening. TABTA works a little bit different between the seasons. So first, let's open our segment where we talk about all the content coming up in the 7th Valkyrie this week. So, you've got TABTA today. On Wednesday, we have the reimaginings of Season 0, Chapter 2, The Days Go By, dropping for everyone. Heroes, you guys know this because you've already got it. And then on Friday, we'll have the accompanying episode of the 7th Valkyrie Listen Along drop on all the channels, where we'll be breaking down this completely transformed version of the chapter and taking a look at the series as we make our way towards Season 3. So, that's what you got coming up this week if you're a public listener. And again, heroes, you guys have that ahead of schedule. Now let's talk about 7th V, behind the scenes, production, business. So making huge progress on the outlines and chapter structures of Season 3. Got the first few chapters pretty much zeroed in with some really interesting and compelling events and settings that really complement the emotional journeys I'm trying to lay out. It's just feeling really good at the moment. Meanwhile, Zoran, our boy, is deep in the weeds, chunking away at the reimaginings of Season 0 and Season 1. Can't wait to share them with you guys soon, because for Heroes, the next batch will include the entire rest of Season 0. For all the rest of you, that means that we'll be, we've got a ton of content coming down the pipeline, so never fear. From a production and business side, we've seen our public audience slim down by literally a handful of listeners. Now that Season 2 is coming to a close, we were at 2085. I think now we're down to 2080, while the heroes are climbing up. And honestly, that makes sense. Like, I'm hoping that all these people will be back for Season 3, but it's not the end of the world. Especially knowing that you guys are still out there enjoying listening to the listen-alongs and are here with me. That just makes me feel really inspired. And to know that you guys are alongside me. And new people are discovering the series. You guys are still getting weekly content while I'm writing the rest of the show. And also, I discovered that some of the merch in the store had been a little bit wonky and some stuff was out of stock, so I'm going to work on getting that all sort of cobbled together and improved. I'll let you guys know. As for what's going on with me, our last segment of TABTA, where currently I'm the one of the main people behind the adventure, having my own adventure. And it's been a worthwhile but challenging venture back to New Orleans for a couple weeks. My partner and I are both first-hand experienced in how hard it can be to sync back up and stay fully, truly connected. in a relationship at all, but especially when you have super chaotic work lives and live in different countries. I'm traveling and I'm with them right now, and being back and forth makes it easier to snuggle, but traveling, it also makes it harder to be in your rhythm and to be safe and to feel like you're like, cool, I'm in a secure home space. Are any of you guys in long distance relationships? I think they've become a lot more common nowadays, considering how people work and live a lot digitally. But that doesn't mean they're not hard. Anyway, in addition to that, I got a cheap flight, a bachelor party, a deadline, a tax deadline, and another international flight coming up in the next 10 days. So the fact that I'm managing to get any work done at all is definitely because I stopped drinking during the week. Everyone out there that's also on whatever moderation sobriety journey of any kind, you're badass and cool. Anyway, talking about you guys, that brings me to our last segment, the Q&A on the comments from members and heroes, etc. And I actually, this week, I got one with kind of things moving on into the listen along. I got a great one that I saw in the public feed. I'll keep the name anonymous so no one gives you a hard time for not knowing. The reason I don't want to give them a hard time is because they asked, why is it going to take so long for season 3 to come out? Why didn't you just go into that rather than the whole listen along and revamp of the other chapters? And that's a fair question. The honest answer is that the recording and production that I do is just one portion of the creation of the season. The main challenge is the writing, which takes a while. I prefer to write the entire season ahead of time rather than on the fly, because sometimes I'll come up with a really fantastic idea that aligns sort of 90% with what I've already written, but it needs a few changes back in the very beginning of the season to plant a seed or to avoid some sort of trivial plot hole or contradiction. Like maybe I need something to be over here, and I mentioned it being over there because I just needed a place to put it, but I need to actually have it here. And, so I can make that change and nothing really matters other than it's like, well, no, it's not there and then here. It's just always been here. It's hard to explain, but there are lots and lots of things like that where like sometimes I move pieces around and things happen, and then I'm like, oh, okay, I need this to be here. And so I can move that stuff, adjust it a little bit, adjust how things are rolling to fit the overall story that I need to tell. Anyway, it means I can treat the season like a cohesive whole and really make sure that things flow smoothly from the beginning to the end in a way that honors the overall flow and journeys of the series. And so before I'd launched season 2, I had already written the entire thing, and it was just a case of recording and production. But now I've got to write season 3, and I can't write it in a week. So to avoid a massive gap, we're doing the listen-alongs, where Zoran can kind of work on those things while I'm putting a lot of my focus on, my day job and also writing the new season. Anyway, thanks for your question. I really appreciate it, and I love giving you guys insight into my creative process, and rest assured that I'm working as fast as I can. And we are slowly but surely starting to grow as a business, which actually allows me to spend my work time on 7th Valkyrie, which means all that happens much faster because I'm not just having to write in the evenings or on the weekends. So tell your friends, because the more people that you tell, the faster you'll get to experience the series. And I have been texting a lot recently, I think, because I put 3 times in the notes for this episode, I've put a winky face emoji. So wink again. You didn't see it. But anyway, if you've got a question for me that you'd like to hear answered, leave a comment anywhere, and I'll check before next week. And in the meantime, stay tuned for our upcoming releases, Wednesday and Friday for the public, with the hero versions already available of the next episode of the Listen Along. And I'll be sending y'all lots of love. Have a good one. Ciao, and talk to you soon.